Just want to show you Exhibit X2 from Cleveland Police Station, which is a firearm register. If you can refer to the 27th of July, 2020.
Yes, my lord. So the first entry, my lord, in terms of the ACP 13, it's number 67, and it says under case Cleveland case 960215, and it indicates the items 1 times 9mm black pistol CZ75 Col Luger, serial number, filed off, 28 times live rounds, 3.31 times empty magazine, all items sealed in a forensic bag number SNFFSF or E385 2083. Then the date of the 27th, my lord, of July 2020, items 3.1 to 3.3 booked out by Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, and then there's a signature of the colonel, and then 200727 item 3.1 to 3.3 Colonel Gininda, head office, booked out for case Phosphorus 636 of 10/2020, and then I signed. Now on top, my lord, they've also attached a copy of my appointment certificate to say I'm the one who signed for these items.
Lana ke okubhaliwe ngaphansi kwakhe ke item 67 Cleveland case 9602 ka2015 kuyasho ke ukuthi ke i9mm eyodwa emnyama ngombala ipistol iC275 Col Luger, babhala ke nokuthi iserial number ke ingasekho isuliwe ke, nokuthi futhi ke ama rounds awu 28 atholakala kuyona ke, kanye futhi ke nemagazini eyodwa engenalutho. Konke ke lokho kwafakwa ngaphakathi kwisikhwama sezobufakazi esinenamba ewu FSE 385083, bese kuthi ke nge27072020 ubhala ke item 3.1 kuyofica ke ku 3.3 ukhishwe ke uyena sorry.
No, my apologies. Not booked out, my lord, it's booked back. So the first entry on 2020-07-27, the first entry by Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, where he signed, it says items 3.1 to 3.3 booked back. So he was bringing the items back by Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, and then the next entry on the same date of the same item 3.1 to 3.3, it is then booked out by me, my lord, under Phosphorus 636 of 10/2014.
Ulungisa ke iphutha la ukhanya athi ulenzileke ukuthi 2020-07-27 item 3.1 kuyofica ke ku 3.3 buyiselwa ke manje uyena uLieutenant Colonel Mangena, kwase kuthi ke ngazo i27 ku July 2020 zona ke wona ke lawo ma items u 3.1 kuyofica ke ku 3.3 ase ephishwa ke noma ke ebukwa out uyena uLieutenant noma uColonel Gininda ngaphansi ko case uFosphorus 63610 of 2014.
Yes.
Thank you. You can continue. We'll come back to Exhibit X13C, the report of Lieutenant Colonel Mangena that you referred to. We'll come back to that in a while.
My lord, in essence, I think thereafter it was really the obtaining of statements, in my recollection, my lord, as I said, that were in relation to implicating some of the accused individually and sometimes collectively. And then thereafter, and I'm trying to summarize, my lord, then the docket was taken to the DPP for their decision, my lord, in light of the evidence that we had.
Emuva kwalokho ke kwakusekuthola ke itatimende ke nanje bangishilo ke ukuthi ke ukuthi ke ku thweswe amacala ke abasolwa ke ngamunye noma ke ngokuhlanganyela ke ngizama ke ukuthi ke ngikufinyezeke lokhu kwase ke emuva kwalokho kuthathwa lona ke idokodo lihanjiswa ke kubashushisi ke ukuthi ke bathathe isinqumo ngokobufakazi ke esasesinabo.
Yes, we just want to show you Lieutenant Colonel Mangena's affidavit, which has been handed as Exhibit X13C. If you can look at paragraph 9.
Yes, my lord, so paragraph 9 reads as follows. I examined the fired bullet mentioned in paragraph 3.1 and 8.2 and compared the individual and class characteristics marking transferred to them by firearm components during the firing process using a comparison microscope and found 9.1. There is sufficient class and individual characteristics markings present on both exhibit and test bullets mentioned in paragraph 3.1 and 8.2, which indicates that the bullet mentioned in 3.1 was fired from the pistol mentioned in 7.1.
Paragraph 10 ke ufundeka ngalendlela uyena uLieutenant Colonel Mangena ukuthi ke solileke sengibhekileke inhlamvu lezo ezadutshulwa ke ekhulunywa ngazo paragraph 3.1 kanye naye ke u8.2 sengiqhathanisa futhi ke lama characteristics ehlangene futhi nangokwahlukana kwawo ke nama markings andluliselwa ke kuzona isona isibhamu noma ke uma ngabe sekudutshulwa ke ngathola ke ngisebenzisa yona ke I microscope yekuqhathanisa ngathola ukuthi ke kuna aneleke ama class kanye nalawo ke ahlukanisiwe ama individual characteristics kuma markings lawo akhona ke kuzona zoyimbili izibithi kanye futhi nenhlamvu le eyasetshenziswa ukuthi ke kutestwe ke ngayo ekukhulunywa ngayo ku paragraph 3.1 kanye no 8.2 okusho ukuthi ke inhlamvu ke ekhulunywa ngayo ku 3.1 yadutshulwa ke iphuma kusona ke isibhamu noma ke ipistol eshiwo noma ekhulunywa ngayo ku 7.1.
Thank you. Is there the report that you referred to earlier on?
Yes, this is the report that I'm referring to, my lord.
Wona ke umbiko lona bengikhuluma ngawo ngaphambilini.
And that is in relation to the second one that made the conclusive finding that this is the firearm that was used in this matter, my lord.
Futhi ke ile umbiko wesibili ke oshilo ke noma owasho ke ukuthi ke kwakuyisoda lesi ke isibhamu esadubula leyo nhlamvu.
Okay. Now, in terms of the timelines, when was the docket submitted to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions?
My lord, one will have to really look, but it would have been, I think maybe in July, but before even the final submission, my lord, there was a prosecutorial engagement. So one was getting instruction from time to time with the prosecution, but prior to the decision, I think it was somewhere in October, and then an indictment was received, and we moved accordingly, as I've testified, in terms of the applications of the warrants of arrest.
Ngabe ke manje ke uma idokodo selidluliswa ke manje njengoba ushilo ukuthi nasinisa nilihambisa kuhhovisi labashushisi ukuthi bathathe ke isinqumo ke cabanga ukuthi ke ngoJuly kodwa ke kuzofanele umuntu ahambe ke ayobheka ukuthi ninike ngoba ke kwakukhona ke ukukhulumisana noma izingxoxo ezazikhona ke phakathi kwethu kanye nabo ke abashushisi ke ngaphambilini kokuthi ke kufinyeleleke kwisinqumo ke noma ke ngo-October kuhanje ke kuyiwe ke enkantolo sekumanje selikhishiwe ke ukuthi ke icala leli ke selingaya enkantolo.
My lord, another thing that I forgot to mention is that During the course of the investigation, although there were no positive results, but one I think must place it on record that we also embarked on a process where there was examinations in terms of measurements by Lieutenant Colonel Mangena of the accused, because one was trying to see, based on their expertise, if they can narrow down as to which accused in terms of their height may have discharged the firearm. But that exercise, I know it was done on accused number 1. I was present.
Just a minute.
Sorry.
Okunye futhi ke engakushilo noma ke engicabanga ukuthi ke kuzofanele ke ngikusho ke noma ke imiphumela ke ngekho ke lapho ukuthi ke kunala ekwakukala khona ke abasolwa ke ubheka ukuthi ngaba uphi ke okungayenzeka ukuthi kwaba uyena ke owadubula ke ngiyazi ukuthi kwenziwa ke lokho kuyena umsolo wokuqala ngangikhona.
And then with regard to number 2, I was not present, my lord.
Yes, just give the date break. Start from the beginning. How did this process commence? Who was the first accused to be
My lord,
measured?
in terms of the dates, I will really have to look, but I do know that the first person that was measured is accused number 1.
Kuzofanele ke ngibheke ke ama date ke ukusho ukuthi ke kodwa ke ngiyazi ukuthi owokuqala ke ukuthi abheke noma kale ke kwakumsolo wokuqala.
And that came about, my lord, as I said, during the investigation process, one was trying to see as to whether we can narrow down in terms of specifics that this is the most probable suspect who may have discharged the firearm in terms of the height, the projection of the bullet, how it entered the body and exit. Those were the expertise one was trying to get from the experts.
Esasizama ukuthi sikutholeke kubona ke ongoti ubheka ke ukuthi kwangaba ubani ke uma ubheka ke inhlamvu ke nola isibhamu sashaya khona ukungena kwenhlamvu nokuphuma kwenhlamvu ke ukuthi ubani okwangenza ukuthi kwaba uyena owadubula.
So, my lord, as I said, I don't recall the date, but I do know that accused 1, I was present. He was at the police station. Then he was measured by Lieutenant Colonel Mangena.
Kodwa ke ama dates angwakhumbuli ke kodwa ngiyazi ke ukuthi ke umsolo wokuqala kwaqala ngaye kwakuse police station ekala uyena uLieutenant Colonel Mangena.
So which police station?
I think it's Valera, my lord, if I recall correctly, for accused number 1. Valera SAPS.
Ngicabanga ukuthi ke kwakuyiValeria police station kuyena ke umsolo wokuqala.
Yes.
I further do know, my lord, that the report I got, that exercise didn't yield any.
Yes. Yes, we'll get the reports.
Oh, we'll get,
Go
all right.
to all the.
All right. The
accused
second
and-
accused, my lord, was. The second person was examined or measured was accused 2, but as I said, I was not there. I simply made the arrangements with Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, so I was not present when he was measured.
Ngiyazi ke ukuthi owesibili ke kwakuwumsola wesibili kodwa ke ngangingekho ke lapho ngakhulumisana nje naye ke uLieutenant Colonel Mangena ukuthi ke aqhubekeke ngalo msebenzi kodwa mina ngangingekho.
Do you remember the date, perhaps?
It would have been somewhere in June, my lord. I don't remember. I was not there, but I do know that I made arrangements that he should. I think Sergeant Mokhane that must assist, my lord, in that, my lord.
KwakungoJune kodwa ngangingekho ke lapho kodwa ngakhumbula nje ngithi ke uSergeant Mokhane alekelele lapho.
Yes, June of which year?
June 2020.
June ka-2020.
If I recall correctly, my lord, it could be the 17th, but I stand under correction of June 2020, my lord.
Kungenzeka ukuthi kwangeyi-17 zikaJune 2020 kodwa ke kungenzeka ukuthi ke ngenza ke iphutha lapho.
Yes.
And that is insofar as accused number 2. Then the third accused, I think his, my lord, was done on the 30th of June 2020 in Johannesburg prison.
Kwakuwumsolo wesibili ke lawo owesithathu ke umsolo wakhe ngicabanga ukuthi kwakungeyi-30 zikaJune 2020 ejele laseGoli.
Yes. What happened during that occasion?
My lord, insofar as accused 3, what I remember, Colonel Mangena was there, and then I had Sergeant Zia with me who assisted with the obtaining of the DNA from accused 3.
Sergeant
Zia.
Zia.
Yeah.
Kuyena ke okwenzeka ke wayekhona uLieutenant Colonel Mangena kanye ke uSergeant Zia ekuyena ke ngamcela ukuthi alekeleleke ngolibofuzo iDNA.
I do also recall, my lord, that on that day, accused 3's warning statement was obtained by me, and the DNA was also taken and the measurements taken, my lord.
Engikwaziyo-ke ukuthi ngalelo langa-ke i-statement-ke sokufayishi noma-ke i-warning statement yathathwa-ke kena-ke noma ithathwa yimina-ke kumsolo wesithathu kanye futhi nayo-ke i-DNA le engikhuluma ngayo mention 3
Measurements.
kanye nokuthi akalwe futhi-ke.
Yes. Who obtained samples for DNA purposes?
It was Sergeant Zia, my lord.
Kwaku-Sergeant Siya uyena-ke owathatha-ke ama-sample la olibofuzo noma phecelezi-ke i-DNA.
And the measurements?
They were taken by Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, my lord.
Umuntu-ke owayimeasure-ke noma-ke mkala-ke kwaku-Lieutenant Colonel Mangena.
Yes. What happened during the taking of the measurements?
My lord, not much of significance. The only thing that I recall, because I led the team, so I had to do the introductions, in other words, identifying myself to the accused, purpose of the investigation, and obviously who's going to play which role. I led that introduction, my lord.
Okwenzeka-ke lapho-ke mina-ke okwami kwakuthi nje ngethuleke ukuthi ngiwubani ngizethule mina ngisho-ke nokuthi obani-ke nala engihamba nabo ukuthi ubani ozokwenzani.
I also know, my lord, that there was some discussion, but I don't want to quote, not verbatim, between Colonel Mangena and accused 3 when it came to the measurement on the issues of examining his legs. But that was between them, my lord. So, and I don't want to misquote what exactly was said, but I know that there were discussions between Lieutenant Colonel Mangena and accused number 3.
Ngiyazi-ke ukuthi-ke kukhona-ke okwakhulunywa-ke noma-ke okwashiwo-ke phakathi kwakhe-ke uLieutenant Colonel Mangena kanye naye-ke umsolo wesithathu-ke mayelana-ke nokwenza lokho-ke ukuthi amkaleke, kodwa angifuni ukuthi ngikhulume engingasikona okwashiwo.
Same with Sergeant Zia. There was interactions between him and accused 3, but as I said, my lord, I would rather not. I think they're more suitable to say what really transpired, except to say I know that they had discussion with accused number 3.
Naye-ke uSergeant Zia nalapho-ke angifuni ukuthi ngisho ukuthi yini-ke eyakhulunywa-ke ibona-ke abangakusho, kodwa ngiyazi ukuthi nje bakhuluma-ke uSergeant Zia kanye naye umsolo wesithathu.
And then I also spoke to him, my lord, in relation to the warning statement. This is now accused 3, my lord.
Nami-ke ngakhuluma-ke naye mayelana-ke nestatement lesi noma lokubizwa ngokuthi-ke i-warning statement.
Yes.
And these discussions were individual, my lord, because we wanted to deal with this thing categorically. So it was not just once off. So one will do his part, wrapped up. I think I was the last one to deal with the warning statement. So they did this individually.
Konke-ke lokhu kwangenzwa-ke ngokuhlanganyela ukuthi sezinto eyodwa ngesikhathi esisodwa. Ngiyazi ukuthi mina-ke ngangokugcina-ke wayeqala-ke omunye aqedeke ngalokho akwenzayo bese kulandela-ke omunye.
Yes. Yes, my lord. Then what I recall, then the next person accused that was visited is accused number 5. He was incarcerated at Kalagabusha prison at Impangin in KZN, my lord. I think it would have been the 1st of July, 2020, according to my recollection.
Olandelayo-ke umsolo-ke ekwayiwa kuyena-ke kwakuwumsolo wesihlanu-ke yena-ke wayegcinwe eKalagabusha kuyijele laseKalagabusha empangeni e-KZN.
My lord, we tried to do the same exercise, and I think I testify about it during the trial, within trial, to say we accused 5 did cooperate insofar as talking to me. I think insofar as giving me his cell number, certain details, but when we wanted to do the formalities, measurements, fingerprints, all those things, and actually even noting the warning statement, he did not. He just walked away. So we didn't do anything there, except that we were there, and Lieutenant Colonel Mangena was present as well.
Ngokukhulumisana-ke ukuthi akhulumeke nami wakwenza-ke lokhu umsolo wesihlanu-ke ukuthi akhulumeke nami anginikeze futhi-ke namanamba akhe-ke, kodwa-ke uma seqala-ke sekufuneka eqale-ke manje kwenziwe-ke lokho esasikeleke lapho ukuthi-ke akalwe-ke kuthathwe-ke ama-fingerprints akhe-ke ilawa vele nje wahamba khona-ke akuzange kwenzeke lutho, naye-ke uLieutenant Colonel Mangena wayekhona lapho.
We'll come back to the issue of the cell number that was given to you. Were there any samples obtained for DNA purposes?
Sure. I don't remember, my lord, because like I said, insofar as the discussion talking to accused number 5, we talked well, but when we wanted to formalize the process, and then whether you take fingerprints or you start writing or you must sign, that is where he was uncomfortable and he walked away. So I don't recall if it was done that day, my lord. I don't have a recollection, my lord.
Nanjengoba ngishilo ke ukuthi ke ngokukhuluma ke yebo ke sasikhuluma ke noma sixoxa ke kodwa uma sekufinele kuthini ke manje asayindeke noma kuthathe wona ke ama fingerprints ila wavele nje wahamba khona ke. I don't remember what is done on the day. Oh, okay. Engakhumbuli ukuthi kwenzeka ke ngalelo langa ukuthathwa kwalo ke ulibo futhi noma ke iDNA angikhumbuli ukuthi kwenzeka ngalelo langa.
Yes.
My lord, yeah, so we didn't get any results there. And then the last person that I recall that we visited is accused 4, which I think would have been on the 6th of July, 2020. He was incarcerated at Lyoko prison here in Johannesburg.
Lapho ke njengoba ngisho ukuthi akunamiphumela eyatholakala noma eyabakhona ke umuntu ke wogcina ke ekwayiwa ke na ke umsolwa wesine kwakungeyi6 zika July 2020 kwijele iLyoko ela eGoli.
Lieutenant Colonel Mangena, my lords, did the same exercise of measurement, and then Sergeant Sia, who was also present, assisted with the DNA, my lord, of accused 4.
Lieutenant Colonel Mangena uyena ke owenza ke lo msebenzi lowo ke ukuthi ke amkaleke bese ukuthi ke uSergeant Sia uyena ke owenza ke okwama DNA.
My lord, my recollection is that I dealt with the warning statement as well of accused number 4.
Ukhumbula kwami ke ukuthi nakuyena ke umsolo wesine ke ngokuphathele nayo ke iwarning statement imina ke owakwenza lokho.
As a court, please, my lord, will this be an appropriate time to call it a day for today? We'll continue tomorrow.
Is that so? Okay. What's your time now?
It's 15:11. The Miss wants to say something.
How's that?
Oh, I thought I would get it.
I nearly said something. Okay. Adjournment. Tomorrow.